Alright everybody, welcome in and thank you for tuning into episode number 8 of On the Draw. I'm Mythic Fishbomb here with Phoenix Vortex.
How's it going, guys?
And guess who is here again? Indormi!
Hi guys.
As always.
I couldn't go clever this time. We went just straight for the throw on this one. So we've got some more words, sentences, fragments, and letters to put together and mash up into some words and sentences and such.
It gets worse every week.
It does. Hey, but until we have a week where I see 0 views, we're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, you know?
So we got a couple people out there that like to just laugh at us. So whatever.
Yeah, my mother, your mother, his mother.
Hey man, that's 3 mothers. You know what to say.
3 views, right?
And we also have Grandpa and Grandma too.
It's all in the family.
Hey, I'm old, man. You run out of those things.
Phoenix
after a
is
while.
definitely the grandpa of the group. So this week they added in 1v1 constructed queues, which we were all excited for until we found out they were completely random. So they say in there, you know, it's to help out the community tournaments and whatnot. Unfortunately, it doesn't do that because they are random and you can't control it. So when we're doing pairings for things like the Hextechs Open, you kind of need to know who you're facing, and if you just join in there, somebody who's not in the tournament joins in as well, it then screws up everything. You have to re-challenge somebody else. It's just a giant mess. It's cool to have. It's definitely very nice to have it so we can test decks with best 2 or 3 or 3 reserves, which we've been asking for quite a while. So it's definitely nice to have it. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite do what we were all hoping for. But yes, what do you guys think of the 1v1 queues?
Basically, it's a 1v1 queues. It's not where 1 versus best of 3 on the proving grounds.
Yeah.
That's the main difference. It's only 1v1 queues. Right now they don't have a payout, but they say on the forums that we may see a payout of what you have an entry fee of 100 platinum and you get out a pack if you win, which is normal for these 2-man queues. So yeah, it's really 2-man queues and not best of 3 on the proving grounds, which again is great having 1v1 queue so you can practice constructed tournaments more seriously for the VIP tournament schedule or any constructed opens like the Hex Open or Hextechs Open or anyone else. But is for the community driven tournaments, it really doesn't help us. As Mythic says, you have the guy you want to face, but right now it's just the first guy that goes in the queue. If it was a little tournament with only like 8 people or something like that, you could probably fix it so you get paired with the pairing that you want. But having a tournament that is bigger than, I don't know, 20 people is just going to be a mess unless they update it in some way, like making you being able to make your own lobby, which I think it's nowhere close to happening. So again, it's cool to feature to have, but it doesn't do what was advertised.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's a step forward.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to be able to have that option, be able to test out sideboards against random people. I mean, even playing fringe decks, whatever. But like they said, I mean, it's fine, I guess, if you wanted to run a community tournament that was like a 4-round, 5-round tournament where it was just wins and losses. I guess it could work,
Yeah,
but you
it'd
still
be a
need
nightmare.
pairings. You still need pairings because you need to go by the record of people. So
Yeah.
it's nice to have for like testing or whatever, but yeah, it's not cutting it for running tournaments. It'd be nice to have in client tournaments. I know they're working on it. Can't wait. So hopefully it comes soon.
Yeah, well, one thing that said is that this system is really good for asynchronous tournament. But the thing is that the asynchronous tournament that the TC play right now, I think it's the Rock League and I think it's called the Hex Budget League by Hex Primal.
Yeah, it's the budget cup.
Yeah, the Budget Cup, sorry.
Budget Cup.
Yeah. So the problem with that is that you are not playing top tier 1 constructed decks because you are actually playing a different format with different rules. So it's not really a place for you to practice those kind of decks. Because you go there with your Pauper deck or your budget deck and you just face the tier 1 constructed deck. So it's really not great for that kind of tournament practice.
So the
For
one
those
thing,
tournaments.
the one thing I will say though, I know I came across a little negative there, and I apologize for that. But it is good for people like myself who like to stream constructed games to just be able to continuously string together a bunch of 2 or 3 constructed games, potentially against top tier decks. I mean, you're gonna get some wonky ones in there too. But it's nice to have. Obviously, there's no payout to it, which kind of is unfortunate. But once they do add the payout to that, I think it's actually better for new players than the Proving Ground random games right now, where you get 100 gold. Because you put 100 platinum in there, you may get a pack, and then that pack is, you can save those packs to the draft. We've all done it on Magic Online. We grind up these 1v1s, get the packs together, do a draft, get the rares from there, add to your deck, do it again. You could try to steal some victories with your budget decks and whatnot.
It's all in motion.
Yeah,
it's all in motion.
Mono Red Tiger has paid me some amount of draft.
Yeah,
more than zero.
It's definitely good to have, and I think when the payout, it'll definitely make it more appealing, and it'll also keep out some of the kind of wonkier decks, because people obviously don't want to pay $1 to get crushed. This time of the thing I want to do. I mean, I'll do it because I play wonky decks all the time, but that's neither here nor there. But again, I do think it's a great thing to have. What's that?
Trial of faith, anyone?
I mean, the best thing about that is that you are not going to get people that tweet about doing really, really annoying combos. Because there's a chance you can fizzle. And there's one pack in the line. I'm not quitting. I'm going to sit there go through all the emotions.
And when they announced this, I was sitting here racking my brain like the entirety of the day, thinking how we could make this work for the Open. And the only way to possibly do it would have one of us sit there and like moderate the queue and be like, all right, you and you enter now. You and you enter now. And that would just be the most tedious job on the planet. So I'd probably go to Phoenix, honestly.
And any random guy that just wants to join the queue will...
Yeah, it could just throw off the entirety of the thing. And it would help for the time limit.
Like scanners.
What was that?
My head would explode like scanners if I had to do that. We're not doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying. I came to every single conclusion possible, and that was like the only one that could maybe work, and that would be just a giant pain to do. So while it's a great feature to have, and I look forward to the prize payout one, because that's again nice to just grind out those to get some packs and such. It's not quite gonna be good enough at the moment. When you do the prize payout, though, you could potentially get a primal out of that one pack, which is kind of sweet. See, there's actually a lot on the line. I got 2 packs today from a tournament and got 2 primals from those 2 packs.
No, what I mean is
saying.
I'm not sure you're going to be able to get primals out of the pack.
You should. If it generates a pack, it should be able to give you a primal.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You can get it from tournament winnings. You can get it from a 1v1 queue winnings.
Never mind. Yeah, I was thinking something else. Sorry.
Finally,
my math was
let's put this in the notes here. Finally, Mythic Fish Bomb crushes Indormi's dreams. Just so we're clear. One for the Myth guy. Just saying.
11/13/2014. It just happened.
Okay, so on to the next topic. Now that we've discussed the 1v1 queues.
I need you to win someone so I can crush. You get your hopes up and crush you even harder next time. It was all in the plan.
So, yesterday, 2 days ago, we announced the rules and signups for the November Hextechs Open. There have been a few questions on it. We wanted to go ahead and squash any beefs anyone has, any kind of questions anyone may have. Make sure everything's completely understood.
Copacetic.
Copacetic. There we go.
Copacetic. There you go.
So again, we're gonna put the link for this in the show notes. So if you guys want to sign up for it, it'll be in there as well. Basically, the rules are the same. No shows will be dropped after round 1. That was always the case. If you don't submit a deck list 90 minutes before round 1 starts, you will also be dropped. So if you make sure to email your deck list to us at hextechstv, hextechstv@gmail.com. Or anything you want to send to us. I mean, aside from naked pics, then
Those goes to Mythic Fish.
His personal email, not mine.
The deck lists need to include keep name, champion, and gems. A minimum deck of 60 cards with reserves of 15 cards clearly labeled. The gems we had the biggest question on. and that we're going to cover in the next part here, where it says 2 minutes will be allocated for reserves between games. This is done out of trust and respect, so please try your best to not take it more than 2 minutes. Gems and champions cannot be changed during this time. So everyone, I've got a few calls from people's mothers telling me I'm being mean about this with the gems. Um, I've been told on I think 3 separate occasions that changing gems in the reserves for constructed games is not intended. Um, I'm going to try to get something official from CZE saying it is or isn't. I'm gonna do it. I can't guarantee anything because they don't have to answer. Who am I? They don't have to answer me. But I'm gonna see if I can get something out of them because honestly, I would love to have it. It'd be a pain for us to judge it, but it would
Yeah.
definitely make things interesting in the way of like changing up gems between rounds can be really not between rounds, between games can be really intriguing and lead to some really nice interactions in the game and make things obviously it could really be
Those
interesting.
Dreamer gems to mill when you're facing Tupac.
Exactly, yeah. So things like that can really be interesting. So I would love to have it. So it's not like oh, I hate gems. I'm not trying to be the bad guy here. I'm just saying, like, as far as I was told, CZ does not want to have people changing gems in constructed tournaments, and we're trying to run this as close to as an official CZE Hex tournament as possible, which is why we're trying to follow their rules. But the problem is their rules aren't out there for everyone to see, so we're just going off what we know, and what I was told is that we can't do it. So again, if they say something official saying we can do it, if they say something official saying we can't do it, that's what we're going to follow. If they keep it quiet, then I'm going to go off of what I know.
Yeah, basically the reasoning that they told us when this happened, it was that if the constructed Sogre troops would be super predominant on decks, and that's not what they really wanted to.
Super
Because
what on decks?
no, that they will be. They will most of there be on every deck because of the versatility you can get on them. You just will have
Yeah.
them on the reserves because it just
Yeah.
as we as the army knife. You just can put whatever gem you need on any occasion, and that they will completely warp the format out of it. Well, not completely warp the format, but everyone will be playing them, and that's not really the best thing to happen.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, there wouldn't be a staple. I wouldn't say you're running
No, it's
four
not a
Socrates troops in each deck, but you could throw a couple on your sideboard and throw on first strike if you wanted, or damage gem if you wanted, or whatever. And it's, I mean, it kind of like puts it in a whole nother like mental game kind of situation, which is great. Like if that's what they want, we'll do it. I'm all for it. It means I need to rethink what I'm doing in my sideboards, but I'm all for it. But as of right now, my understanding too, aside from whatever these guys have heard or whatever, I've also heard that changing gems in between games and constructed tournaments is not allowed. So we'll just have to wait and see. But as of right now, that's all we can go by. So just make sure that your gems stay the same throughout the whole tournament. If we hear otherwise before then, we'll let you know and we'll proceed accordingly.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mythic will do public speaks telling sorry.
He will
I
do it
mean,
in interpretive dance.
I mean, I
for
was
you
going to do that
guys.
anyway. That was probably my plan. For that was the entire coverage. Was going to be just saying round 2 and do some dances. That's kind of just what was always in the works.
Okay, I just have an idea.
Nobody really wants to see that.
I just have the greatest idea ever.
Go for it.
If there are gems allowed, we have Mythic on a bikini.
I like
And-
it.
I don't want to see that.
No,
Just
I'm
wait, just wait. It
interested.
gets better.
Let's go on.
It
No,
gets
good.
better. It gets better. You know how in the boxer rings, there's the girl with that says round 1,
Yeah.
round 2. Well, the Mythic is just going to do that.
The round girl.
Yeah, the
Okay.
round girl.
Oh yeah. I could be a round chick. I could be a round fish. A round mom. Round mom. That sounds like a
I mean,
fat mom.
it
But
could
you
also
know.
be fine with a fish costume.
I'll be the round
Nobody
mom.
wants to
Yes.
see that.
But I mean, I understand. A lot of people have been saying because you can change gems between rounds currently in constructed tournaments in the client, that it should be allowed. But again, all we can go off of is what we've been told, and what we've been told is that it wasn't allowed. And again, as soon as they tell us anything different, I will be everywhere saying you can change gems, you can change gems. I'll hire some 50s newsy guy to scream on the sideboard on the side, Get your
I
gems
need
here.
a
think
sign
you meant
spinner
Opera.
too.
Yeah.
I need a sign
You get
spinner,
gems.
like on the corner.
So I mean, I will for sure let everyone know if it changes, or when it changes. But again, until then, that's just kind of what it is. It's not our choosing. We're just going off of what rules we know.
To add a little bit to that, I think that most of the people building decks right now are taking into account that restriction, because I think if people will think that change gems between rounds is intended, I think we will see very different sideboards from many of the deck builders. So I think most decks are built right now that with the intention that you cannot change gems between games,
Yeah,
even if you can.
you couldn't change them for the invitational either, as far as I know either. So it's not like we're the only ones who have ever said this. It's again, I feel like a broken record, but I'm trying to nail it home that we're not making these rules up out of nowhere because of spite of like I was burnt by a gem one time and now I'm just trying to be spiteful against it. It's just that's what we were told.
To be fair, it was a long time ago, so
Yeah.
we'll see. Maybe.
It was during Alpha was when I was told it the first time and I was told it again in the charity stream, but
Yes,
things may have
I
changed.
remember it in the charity stream as well.
Things may have changed, so I'm gonna do my best to find out for you guys. But as of now, it's gonna stick that way. Um, Next thing, after saying the same word over and over again, you could ask for a deck check if you believe something is suspicious in your opponent's deck or reserves. Each player is allowed 2 challenges, so use them wisely. If you are correct, your challenges will be refunded. So if your opponent does seem to have changed their gem between rounds, between sideboards, you can call them right out, and we'll lay the hammer on them. Or if like your opponent's playing Burn to the Ground main deck, not Burn to the Ground,
Total meltdown.
Total Meltdown main deck. There you go.
Ah.
And he got me. Total Meltdown main deck, and you're playing robots. Maybe they try to metagame you. Who knows? So if you think something's wrong,
Next level
the
cheating.
signs right there.
hey man, I got beat by main deck Winds of Change playing Trial of Faith in a draft. So yeah,
You deserve that.
Metagaming
You
is real.
deserve that.
metagaming is real.
you really deserve it.
Well, I won't tell. I won't go into the story. It was pretty brutal. I had the game won, decided I'll Trial of Faith here, and then got blown up by a 60-card draft deck playing Winds of Change main deck.
Oh well, if it was a 60 card, then I can understand. He had to put something in there.
And the best part was his name was Fish Feast.
Oh, that's
So
brutal.
clearly he was betting up against
That's
me, even in the naming process of
brutal.
things. But neither here nor there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so if you are playing a card that is not in your main deck that is supposed to be in your reserves during game 1, it will result in a game loss. If you're finally playing a card that is not in your submitted 75, then it will result in an immediate drop and loss of any prizes you would have otherwise gained. That usually refers to people who would be in top 32. They then get caught cheating. They then don't get their packs or pack, whatever it would end up being. Otherwise, you get prizes for just entering. So, not a huge deal. Again,
we didn't have any problems.
we didn't have any
We
problems
didn't
with that
have
last
any
time, no.
problems with this last time, so I hope we don't have any this time. It's just kind of we don't like disqualifying people. We don't want to give game losses. We
I
don't
kinda
know
do.
what give match losses. Well,
I mean, we had a game loss though during the top 8, to be fair. Because I think
Yeah,
Future
but I
forgot
mean,
to sideboard.
yeah,
It was an honest mistake, but we
Yep.
couldn't really say
Yeah.
because with this top 8 you cannot do it. But
yeah, all we can say is double and triple check your decks before you go in the game.
yeah, in the stream
It's the best thing.
I said every round, remember to decide for your
Yeah.
decks. Every
Yep.
round, every round.
So the next one is one that we also had a few questions on. Card bettings will be announced 2 days before the tournament. As of now, the only card that I think would be banned would be Hop Hero. I have to check on how broken it is, or how much it matters, because I mean, Top Hero, who really. But anyway,
Don't you dare! Hope you is very dear to my heart. I tried to make it work so hard. It
The-
did
With
that?
Counter Strike, right?
No.
the biggest thing is because we are going to be allowing set 2 in this tournament if it is out before the 22nd. We were told the aim date was 18th. If that were the case and set 2 does come out the 18th, the Open would 100% be moved.
Yeah.
it's just too little time to then check. If it comes out Monday of the 22nd, we'll do some testing with to see how the game plays. If it plays well and there's no broken
If it is
cards,
playable at all.
if it's playable at all, or and there's no broken cards, then it'll almost certainly proceed as planned. I
Or
know
if the
I
broken
was
cards
originally. What was that?
are not many. There's like there are
A
in
couple,
total like
yeah.
10 back cards. I think we can probably continue. If there are more than that, I think 10 is probably on the borderline to move it.
Yeah.
But if there's just a lot of cards or the servers are laggy or whatever, it's just going to get moved. That
And
doesn't mean move to the next week.
yeah,
Just
it maybe even be moved because the next week could be
Postpone.
Thanksgiving weekend, so that's a little
Yeah.
too. So you have to move it to like probably December, like early December probably would be when we move to. But that'll be announced if it comes out. It may not even come up. They may release it the last day of November. Who knows? But as long as there's at least 5 to 6 days of drafting and playing these cards to figure out if there's any bugs in it, it'll proceed as planned. And I know a few people said that I know I've said it 100 times, like I don't want it to be the same week as Set 2 comes out because it's going to hurt people's wallets and it's going to be relatively unfair to people. But the intrigue of having a Set 2 tournament fresh out the gate is higher than the worry factor of not everyone being able to get the cards they need to. And you can still use your Set 1 decks in Set 2. And also, if you think about any tournament ever that's come out like the week before, the week of,
the
or
week
like
before.
a few
It
weeks,
gets the day
obviously.
after.
The
Yeah.
week of or like the week later, almost always everyone's playing like mono ruby or like just fast aggressive decks. So it's usually shouldn't be a problem. It may cause some people who would do well not to potentially, but hopefully that's not the case. And again, none of it's done. Like we don't sell cards, so we're not trying to like make a profit out of this. Like, oh, you're gonna buy from us now because we're the only ones you can buy from. It's none of that. It's just more of a to hopefully make the tournament more intriguing overall by having people set to if it does come out beforehand.
Yeah. There's also
Yeah, I mean, it's always the most exciting tournament of the season is right when a set comes out. You get to see the crazy stuff that's going on in people's heads, what they think is going to be good, what people think is going to be good, but it's horrible against the stuff that's already around. It's a cool concept. And, if everything was perfect, we would love to host a tournament where we know what the set date is and we're hosting the tournament the next day. And people are trying to brainstorm about stuff beforehand, and it's just a blast. I mean, every consequence tournament in the season before a new set comes out is always less exciting than the last, unless some completely random rogue deck ends up taking the tournament down. So, in a perfect world, that's what'll happen. But for now, I mean, we can only do what we can do. So.
yeah, I mean, I think that the most interesting one is not the week right after, but the week after that, when people have a little bit more time to get the cards,
Yeah.
open packs, and so forth. I think that's the biggest one. Also, for any people that don't is set to come with that, remember that Steel Gorfish is a really good card. We haven't seen the full spoiler, but probably a version of that is probably going to be playable.
Well, one thing that actually makes the possibility of having a Set 2 tournament even more intriguing to me, at least, is that we aren't getting a full spoiler sheet, as far as they said.
We
Yep.
don't know. We don't know that.
He said we may not be getting a full spoiler sheet, so
Yeah, he said that we may.
we could be just seeing like it'll be the first time we're seeing some of these cards even. So it could be
Yeah.
really exciting.
No, the thing that's not going to happen because if
it
we
could
haven't
be.
seen cards before, we don't know if they're plugged or not. So that's
Well, no.
We're going
I mean, obviously, we'll be seeing them before. I'm saying like the first time these cards are getting exposure and like, these things are
Okay.
being not obviously. I'm like, oh, we're in a tournament. I don't know what cards are bugged. What does this even do?
yeah.
Obviously, we're gonna do our due diligence to make sure everything's running well and their cards aren't bugged and whatnot. But I'm saying like the first time we're seeing these cards in this environment, I should have worded that better. My bad.
I mean, the thing is that what Corey said that it's we are going to have a pre-releases. Well, not pre-releases, but the release week or the release weekend. We were not going to get a full spoiler because it was more interesting for people to draft and discover every new cards and so forth. But I think that's not going to happen on set 2, so we may get a full set 2 spoiler.
Yeah, it's possible.
Again, if the set comes and we don't have a full spoiler and it's so close to, if it goes like Monday or something like that, and we don't have a full spoiler, we will work
Can be tricky.
really hard to get it. But
Well,
there's a chance it's going to be if
I
it doesn't.
know myself, Cyrus. Well, I have the least of them, but Cyrus and Havoc have a ton of draft tickets, so they're gonna be our bug testers.
Oh
To
yeah, I mean, and we will ask the help for the community to see. And
Yeah.
we will check the forums and so forth and
Yep.
test what it is. But we cannot guarantee going to happen
yeah,
if we don't have a full spoiler and can check every card or most of them.
and
Wouldn't
again,
it be awesome if set 2 gets dropped and it's perfect?
oh,
Wouldn't that be awesome?
it'd also be awesome if Santa Claus exists, right?
What are you saying? Santa Claus
That
is-
wasn't tournament negative. I'm
Hey,
saying like
It's almost Hexmas.
if we're
almost at
going with
Hexmas. It could
awesome
happen.
things, I mean, Santa Claus is
Magical
pretty sweet, man.
Hexmas land.
I think I'm hearing the slates right now.
Um, but yeah. So next one, 60 minutes will be the total time for the round. Yeah, I think I want to make sure I have it up top too. I don't think I have it up top too. Last time was 50. Ended up being a little too short because of people doing reserves. Some people may have taken more than 2 minutes and whatnot. Slower decks, what have you. So we bumped up to 60. We added 10 minutes as opposed to just adding 5, which we originally were going to, just to give the extra buffer space. I don't know if it's a buffer. What the hell is a buffer? Buffer space.
Buffalo.
Add the buffer space for you guys to give you guys, just in case something happens, so people don't get screwed over by their opponent taking a little longer, or having a little bit of. The proving grounds can be a mess when it's a big tournament, so I think the extra 10 minutes should hopefully help with people getting draws and whatnot.
Yeah, there's also one other thing is that we will try to help with the slow play, but we really cannot enforce it really well. So that's why we are getting the extra minutes.
Yeah.
Because we also cannot know if the guy is maybe slow playing you or he just having a lag spike or whatever. If we had the best of 3 with just clock, will be fantastic and there will be no problem about this. But fortunately, I don't think we are getting it very ready for this tournament.
Yeah.
So we'll have to go with this.
And the last one, judge rulings are final. Again, we had no problems with this last time. Judge Dredd down below me here, Phoenix, is yeah. As long as whatever this says goes, and it's not usually an issue at all. Well, it wasn't an issue last time. I mean, not usually. It's been one tournament, but it wasn't an issue last time. It shouldn't be one this time. The Hex community is awesome, and everyone's been following, the taking 2 minutes and not changing their gems and not cheating extra cards in their deck or whatnot. Everyone's been very cool about everything, so I don't think that much should be a problem at all.
Yep. Some other cool that I think we didn't write them down, but we mentioned them in the last tournament and so forth. Is that if, as Mythic said, if you don't show for round 1 or you don't have the deck, you will get just dropped from the tournament. But after round 1 has been done, if your opponent doesn't show in 2 minutes after the tournament start, well, going to be like 3 or 4 minutes.
5, I think, is usual.
Or 5, yeah. He's just going to game loss. We're not going to disqualify them at that point because they may just go to the bathroom or whatever. It's just forgot it. If it happens 2 times in a row, they will get disqualified. But yeah, if you have a no-show on your opponent, you'll probably just say as one of the judges and tell one of the judges, and we will write it down. And after 5 minutes, we will give you the bye.
What's really cool though about this format, sorry to cut you off there, is that everyone.
I will forget the other one, no problem.
Sorry.
I will concentrate.
Everyone has to submit a deck list. So if you submit a deck list, you've already invested the time and all that stuff into getting yourself ready and all that, and you've invested time into the tournament, so you're not going to just not show up. Some people did have a problem. I think one person had a problem where he showed up a little late, and he got dropped because of it. But for the most part, we had 67 deck lists submitted to us. 67 people played, and we're in all the rounds. So it was really cool, and it should be the same case this time.
Some people sleep between 1 round or 2, fall asleep, but
Shinshire did, yeah, right?
yeah,
Shinshire fell asleep between rounds.
he pulled a card in between the.
Which sucks because, I've played against Shinshire a million times. He's a really, really good
Yeah.
player and got screwed because he just happened to take a nap. It's unfortunate. That's the problem of playing at home as opposed to playing in a convention hall. You can't sleep because there's a bunch of smelly dudes around you. Here, I mean, maybe your house is full of smelly dudes too.
Stand, man.
Who knows?
Food crack everywhere.
Boot crack, yes.
Bring a sleeping bag, find a dark corridor, take a nap.
And
Okay.
lose your place.
But
And
have your
all your
phone
valuables.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the next thing.
No, wait. Before I forget, no,
I was
this
hoping you'd
important
forget.
and
I didn't want to hear it.
and people ask it about the coin flip during the matches.
Oh, yes.
During the Swiss round, the first coin flip will decide the player who goes first or not, and after that, the player that loses will decide to go first. So if you win game one, your opponent will choose to play or draw. The best thing to do this is before you lose, like there's the lethal attack on the board,
Yeah, before you
or there's
concede. Or
yeah, just type in the chat, I would like to go first, or I will draw. So there's no issues, because I think you cannot chat while the pop-up is there in the.
no, you can't. It
the
doesn't go
conflict.
through.
Yeah, when you click enter, it just chooses to do something. So the best thing is to do it that way. This will not be done during the top 8. The top 8 will be seed based. The first match will be chosen by seed. So if you ended first in the Swiss round, you will go first in every match of the top 8. Well, the first game of the top 8.
And with that, after the first coin flip, if you choose to play, your opponent accidentally clicks to play and you don't say anything about it, then nothing we can do about it. As long as it goes if it goes like a turn and you're like, oh wait, I'm supposed to be on the play now, you can then talk to him if he wants to, restart. That's fine. But once you've already started playing the game, I'm not gonna have you reset the game and go back to the beginning, because that's just unfair. You could just tell us that happened and we don't know because we can't watch the game. So once both players have played their resources, a resource, that's it. It's not no resetting the game from that point.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that if this happens during mulligans, for example, this can happen. You just go to autopilot mode. You won game one. You win the coin flip and you click autopilot and go first. Because it happens. When you play, you usually don't have to think about these things, and you just autopilot click play, and then you say, oh damn, I had to draw. So you just ask your opponent what he wants to do.
Yeah,
Because
you tell them to. Don't just concede
Yeah.
and then go back, because they'll be like, oh, he just conceded to me.
Yep.
And we can't do anything about that because you conceded to him. Just say like, oh, you were supposed to play, or I was supposed to play, or whatever,
Yeah.
and then concede. Or
No,
tell us in the Twitch chat either.
Yeah, call a judge.
No.
Always.
You can call a judge, but the normal thing to do is you just tell him that I just autopilot, and the other player, that the one that they had to decide to go first or not, will decide to say, okay, it doesn't matter, I will keep because I have a really good hand. So you get him the advantage of him having the good hand after that. Or if he says no, I will rather restart and go on the play. You will just have to shot and.
I wouldn't say do that at all. I'd say just restart the game. Don't give your opponent just get to choose whether they want to play or draw because you messed up. Just restart the game and go from where you're supposed to go, because it could change things and you could sit there with regret, and no one wants to. I live with regret every day. No one wants to do that. It's a horrible feeling.
But the thing is, it's also unfair for the other guy, because the other guy didn't have to do anything. So if it's fine, it's fine. Because people will say it's fine most of the time.
That's up to you then, but I would recommend definitely restarting the game and just going from where you're supposed to go from. It's better for everybody. But
It's the safer bet.
we're gonna go on to now the prize breakdown. We got a few people saying the prize breakdown wasn't quite good enough, which we're doing it out of pocket. So it's basically all we can do. We're just doing the best we can with what we got. We did up it up a little bit though. So the new breakdown is this: first place gets 20 set 1 packs and 10 set 2 packs. Second place gets 15 set 1 packs and 6 set 2 packs. Fourth and fifth get 10 set 1 packs and 2 set 2 packs. And then fifth through, what is that, 8th? 5th through 8th, right?
6 through 9.
3 through 8, I think.
5th through 8, yeah, no, because it is down one because of the set on top. So 5th through 8, it was blowing my mind for a second. 5th through 8 gets 5 set 1 packs. 9th through 12th gets 4 set 1 packs. 13 through 16 you get 3 set 1 packs, and then 17 through 32 get 1 set 1 pack. So we pay out to 32, so there's a little bit of that going. There's that advantage. You could get top 32 and you still get something out of it, which is nice. And then we added the set 2 packs to sweeten the deal a little bit. Set 1 packs are kind of obviously we've all had a ton of set 1 packs, so giving the extra set 2 packs, which again we're giving the best we can because we don't have a whole lot to give of set 2, so hopefully it helps out. You guys can have a little bit of incentive to try to crush the thing here, and we're gonna have something a little bit more exciting for future events. This current one is, obviously just free and you get packs and whatnot. We're working on making it way more awesome. So, should be more exciting.
Really convincing.
Sorry, no, I was sitting on my leg, and it got really tired, so I was stretching. I'm sorry.
Sounded like a yawn almost.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, a little bit disclaimer. This is for 6 rounds tournament. I think if we decide that we get 7 rounds, or 1 round extra from the 6 round, we'll out around 20 packs for every extra round. So,
yep.
I mean, it's not exactly 20 because it's depending on how they break down to make them even for 10 and 4, and that all from 16 through 32 get the same pack. So maybe 22, maybe 19.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think 20 for every additional round after 6 is, nice. It's good. So it may change a little bit. We'll give the update on we'll show the spreadsheet on the stream when we do that to let you guys know exactly what you're gonna be getting for the prize breakdown and whatnot.
Yeah. Again, we are putting all of this from our pocket. We are not getting anything from doing the tournament. So we really aren't rich, unfortunately. So we cannot give the things that we want. It's really we really can't.
Yeah.
I think 30 packs for first place is pretty damn good. So
for free, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you strive for top 4. You get some set 2 packs. You get a decent amount of set 1 packs, and then everybody following up in the top 32 gets something. So you don't have anything else going on that day. Come join the tournament.
Yeah, it's more about the brag rights and playing Hex and having fun.
Yep.
More on the prizes. The prizes are a little bit tempting for everyone, and for that extra incentive for people to submit the deck list. But
it's not hard. Type
but it is really is what it is. It's just a token of the price. It's really not much, but again, it's a free tournament, so it's free stuff, man.
And to the point of the deck list, last time we even just took pictures and we just transcribed it ourselves. It was a pain, but we did it. So if it's easier for you to just take a picture of your deck list, send it to us. Well, begrudgingly.
Send them to Mythic. Because last time
you're sending it to one email. It's gonna be one of us doing it. And I transcribed half of it.
All of them. No way.
You did not do all of them, you liar. Does all of them mean something different in Spanish?
I did a lot of them too.
Yeah, but I did transcribe like 4 of them in a row. I got pissed at that point.
I think I drank like 6 cups of coffee that morning when I was trying to do all the percentages and the deck breakdowns and everything. It was brutal, man.
Yeah.
But it was worth it because the tournament was awesome. So
yeah,
more than happy to do it.
What we decided to do for our last segment here is something we've been talking about for a little while, and we thought it'd be interesting to cover, and that is the last changes from Alpha. I know it's a throwback. It's definitely a throwback, but we've been discussing this more and more. What?
It is Thursday. It's throwback Thursday.
Got me. But we did think that some of them were kind of interesting, and what we would like to give our input on how these things may or may not have shifted the metagame, considering there's a tournament coming up that we are hosting. So, one of the ones that stand out to me most from looking at this list here, right at the top, is Kratos Scroll Titan being changed from 4 to 4 defense from 5. It was originally a 4/5 for 6 that came to play and did the battle effect and all that. What was good about that is that it could fight things like Angel of Dawn, fight things like Eternal Guardians, stuff like that, and live.
That's a lie.
Well, no, it could now technically. If we're putting it at the same rate it was then in current metagame. So I think that card lost a lot because of the little nerf there. They nerfed a lot of wild cards in this pat.
That was I going to say that. Mythic is not talking a little bit about the context about this. It just happened about just like a week or 2 after the Hextechs tournament happened.
I think it was 2 weeks after the Challenge Series.
yeah, I think it was 2 weeks after the Chancellor or something like that, where I was basically like 60% of the field or 70% of the field. It
Higher than that, I'd say.
it was really
Yeah, it was really high.
it was really because it was really the best deck. And many instead of just nerfing I, that was what all of us expected. It they basically nerf a lot of the cards from the deck. Like
They
more,
took an Uzi to the deck. They threw it up in the air and just blew it all away. Some of it was warranted, but and some of it may have been for the better. But things like nerfing the Scroll Titans and nerfing something like Jadeem, for example, which is the one they nerfed in this patch, kind of really shifted the metagame. Because if you look at it now,
Yeah.
there's one wild deck, and what that wild deck does is play blood cards. That's the point of winning. That wild deck wins because it plays blood cards, not because it plays wild cards. I mean, Wrathful Colossus is a good card, don't get me wrong, but it wins off of Relentless Corruption and Pact of Pain, and it gains a min life off of Pact of Life, which is still probably the worst card in that deck. But that's neither here nor there. Another one that really, hits me at home is where is it? The Jadeem one. The Jadeem one originally had a 2-card combo, technically a 2-card combo. It is interactive more so than things like War
Before
Machinist and
Mythic
Gambit.
goes further,
Yeah?
because I think people may not know what the Ultra team did.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna get to that part.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Jadeem
So
was so
so
good.
basically the Ultra team red, it was basically the same, but instead of this turn, it was forever. So every time you played a card, it gets +X forever. So we all seen 40 teams getting chump block for ages and stuff like that. And what Mythic is going to talk about is the what do we call it?
No skill dot deck.
No skill dot deck. Yeah.
Yep.
What No Skill dot deck is a wild Sapphire deck, and turn 4 you'd slam a Jadeem, turn 5 you'd slam Master Time and win the game. Because what it did is it made your Jadeem a 10/10 that can then swing twice, and that's 20 damage for those of you at home.
That cannot go on to more than 10.
Hey man, it's a tough life when you can't get more than 10.
Fortunately,
it
the
was-
combo it deals damage in chunks of 10, so it's just barely made.
It just barely, yeah. That's why I was able to play it. I was like, wow, one more, and I wouldn't be able to do this. But yeah, so they nerfed it because of that combo, which at this point, the point they nerfed it wasn't even really a deck any longer. Honestly, it could have become a deck after the nerf to I potentially, and maybe they thought it was just too good as it was, with maybe some set 2 interactions and whatnot. I don't know, but I loved no skill that decking people because I don't like to have skill. I like to just accidentally win because I just drew a Master Time and killed my opponent. It feels good, and it was that one hurt. That one hurt a lot.
Yeah, I think the combo was very interactive, and thing is that you could just slam it on turn 5, but the chance of just a blowout with a Murder or a Repel was huge because you had to play the Mastery of Time on the first combat phase. Well, before the first combat phase. So if you got a Repel or a Murder or any removal spell for the Jadeem, you just get super blown up because you kill the Jadeem, and you basically make them waste their extra turn, apart from losing the Mastery of Time. So it was really harsh.
I think it was a good deck. I had fun playing it, and that's
Yeah.
not really my style of deck. I didn't think it was crazy. Like, every once in a while you pull it off, and it'd be fun. But more
Nero
times than
pulled
not,
it off
somebody would
a
have
tremendous
piece
amount of
row
times, though.
removal.
I remember when we were testing against
Some
Nero.
people just got the thunder, man.
Yeah,
But I'm fine with that kind of combo. Like, it's turn 4, turn 5.
And it's
but
highly interactive.
probably not turn 5. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine to me. So I would, Jadeem, like Mythic said, they're probably looking forward a little bit. Jadeem with that kind of +X forever kind of skill could somehow be busted in the future. So I'm fine with it. It
I
probably
think that
threw things
it
for the better.
was. I think it wasn't because it was posted in the future. I think your team was crazily undercosted.
Oh, it was.
What
It
it
should
is.
it should have probably been 7
That-
costs.
The way that it was, yes.
Yeah.
The way that it was.
It should have
Because
also
the,
been 7
the
costs.
thing is, let's go to throwback pre-alpha. Because I think Jadim was spoiled during the Kickstarter or before the Kickstarter, and
It was.
Jadim costed 7. And I think it was a 6/6. And when we got it on the alpha, it was 5, the same as it was right now, 5, double threshold and double. I think
Triple
before was
threshold.
triple threshold. Yeah. Oh yeah, triple threshold. Sorry, triple threshold and a 5/5, and it was really undercosted for a 5/5 flyer on wild that really doesn't fit the color pie, but that's another point.
Well, their color pie isn't necessarily the same as Magic's, so saying it doesn't fit the color pie, which isn't defined yet, it seems a little bit odd.
Yeah, but the thing is, the cycle of dragons really isn't going to fit the color pie for a color, but whatever. The point is that 5/5 flyer for 5, it's really good, and the power was really annoying. If you don't deal with it, just gets huge every turn because whatever they throw, it's just going to get bigger and bigger, and you can jump block it for one turn. But sometimes it was just better to take the first hit because the first hit was not lethal because the second or the third one he was going to get you for 20.
I mean, it made
the carries was crazy powerful.
Jadim made Wild Aura into a +6/+6 crush, so it made your demon do a level 11 crush. So forever, mind you.
Crush.
Yeah, a level 11 flying crush.
I'm fine with that.
Forever.
I'm fine with
So
that.
it was definitely very good, but Jadim's a card that's very close to my heart. I want to play it.
Yeah.
I still currently want to play it. I just can't. It's not good enough at the moment. When you had a combo with it, it was very good. You still technically can pull it off, because a lot of times you're going to have another 5 or 6 cost card in your hand, or like 2, 3 cost cards potentially. I've done it a few times, but it's not the same, man. It's not the same.
No, I mean the thing is that the power level of
the same.
of Yadim was just really high compared of other cards of set 1.
I think it was fine though. It was a legendary dragon. Like, the power level for legendary dragon should be super high. I think the power of Ozawa of Uranaz should even be higher. Like,
I think Ernest situated pretty well.
I wanted to see Indormi's reaction to that one.
Where he is.
Uranaz is a damn titan, man.
I'm
Oh, and
joking. I'm joking. I think
Uranus.
Uranaz is
I
great.
love
I just
Uranus.
wanted to see your reaction to that one, Indormi.
I mean,
I had to watch your eyebrows raise slowly but surely.
Let's go to a little bit of deck building.
No, we know Uranaz is gross, dude. Let's just move on.
No. This is in general. There are 3 types of troops. Okay. I'll try to use the examples of Hex. So there are 3 types of troops you can play. The first one are the troops that you play because they are really good troops. Because you want to pass phase, and that's their main point of it. So, for example, we may have let's see, something like this. Like, for example, King Gabriel. You pay King Gabriel because it's 6 cost at 10 power 9, and it's you play because it's really good. It's really undercosted for the power, and it's great at beating face and protecting yourself. You play because he's a really high quality troop. The second kind of troop that you can play are the troops that are basically spells on a stake, and you play them more for the effect than for the body. The body
Like
makes
Buccaneer,
it
for
better.
example.
Yeah, you play Buccaneer because of the bones effect. The body is nice. It's on a stake because spells on a stake are usually better than the spells themselves. But you really play them not because you want that 2/2 for 3, but because you want to bounce something and leave something behind. So that's the second kind of troop. And there's the third kind of troop. That is the guys that are the mixture of both. And that's what in Magic is called Titans, basically.
Oh, the bosses, you mean? No, they aren't called bosses? Sorry.
No, they're called... I mean, the examples for Magic are Planeslayer Angel, Mold Drifter, and the Titans. So you call the troops Baneslayers, Mold Drifters, or Titans.
Baneslayer Pony, a.k.a. Baneslayer Pony.
Why you play Baneslayer Pony? Because it's really good for the cost.
No, you don't. You play it because of the art.
That's also really good for the cost. But yeah, the third type of troop is troops that are real. If you just play them, are really powerful. But you also play them because they are really good beaters. Like, for example, you're not. If you play, you get a troop, and every time you attack, you get another troop. So it's just poly after poly after poly.
Speaking of efficient beers, they're also pretty bossy, right? That's not the word? Titany. Royal Falconer in this patch got a buff, a super buff, if you will.
That change was
This one
interesting.
completely changed the metagame. This card alone, I think, with the addition of also adding Gore Feast into the meta, is what made aggressive decks exist. Because honestly, if this change didn't happen, I mean, I think it was too good of a change. Obviously, it was too good of a change.
Yeah,
but I think if this change didn't happen, there would have been no aggressive decks right now. Because they all of them based off of Falconer. Most of them based off Falconer.
that's true. That's not true because during the last Kosovo tournament, the other deck that saw a lot of play was Corfist. Corfist was a real deck. The problem with it was that you couldn't beat a turn 3 Eternal Guardian. That just happened a lot in that metagame.
Yep.
Because I'm going to kill you turn 3. Yeah, I have a Eternal Guardian. Good luck.
You play Mono Ruby, they get a Guardian off of their, eye for 6 on turn 3, which is just filthy. And then
It could be for 12 if they played the.
if they played the one eye version, yeah.
Yeah, the one eye
So
version.
they get like a Guardian and a Wrathwood off of that, and you just scoop. Like that, it was pretty much
over.
that disgusting. So
And it just happened like that. It was.
it happened like that quite often. So what they did was they put Falconer down from a 5-cost 0/2 to be a 4-cost 0/1, which is now is probably just too good, honestly. I mean, it made the card from basically unplayable to be like one of the best Ruby cards.
It was playable. It was an okay card. It wasn't.
It was
something
okay.
crazy.
It was an okay
It
card.
was okay.
It was okay.
And now it's super crazy.
Which I think it needed. I think Ruby needed a super crazy 4-drop because they didn't have any. Most of the Ruby cards in set 1, I don't care at all about. Ragefire and Heatwave. That's the only Ruby cards I
Well, I
even
think
play.
Voltage-
Sharpie, man.
I think Voltog is really good
Come on.
You play Ash Harpy for the art too. That's about it.
I love Ash Sharpie.
for the fiery boost. No, but
Just
for
a
example,
Ruby card.
Yeah, but
I
Zoltan
think-
got completely just looked over now because of this one. You can play that where you
Yeah,
can maybe
yeah.
get a 2-1 out
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
This one you get 2-1 flyers, and then a Gorfees just straight kills them.
for the thing is that the rare is way better than the legendary. And Voltog is really good. But
The
he's
legendary's
just-
effect is better, though, to be fair. Like, in the long run, his effect can be better. But,
Yeah, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
So that's why you want the Falconer. But again, Voltog, I think Voltog is a really, really powerful card. It just really doesn't have the right meta for him.
Yep.
so and again, in this patch, was one of the other big nerfs of the last alpha patch, was making Inquisitor a 4-cost from a 3-cost. This was technically the second nerf to Inquisitor. The first one was that they took out the Ruby random damage gem, which, I mean, I would love to have. I loved that card, that gem, in Inquisitors particularly. But the biggest problem was
disgusting.
the biggest
That
problem
one is
was
a discard one.
you do turn 3, play a 3/1 that also happens to kill a Rhino, or whatever X3 they were playing.
Or a Dreamer,
Or a Dreamer, yeah.
whatever.
You just play a 3-cost that kills something when it comes into play. They play out, something else. You did an Extinction turn 4, get it back to your hand. They play something else, like you kill that too with your same, now 5-cost spider. It was really gross. Once they got rid of that, though, the Inquisitor became less of an issue. Because it couldn't just kill everything it could play. It could nerf them with the -3, -0, but it couldn't kill them. And then adding the extra cost to it for a long time until recently kind of made Inquisitors like, why am I even playing this card? I'd rather just be playing, Vampire Kings or some other 4-cost in this spot. It's gotten better now because of Gorefeast and, hitting a Falcon is really good. Hitting a Dreamer is really important. So hitting these things are becoming more important now, so it's gotten more playability. But for a long time, it was like the card was nigh dead.
Vanished.
Yeah, I mean the thing was that what was really, really, really gross about the Inquisitor is that you go turn 3, Inquisitor kill your dude, turn 4 Extinction, get my Inquisitor back, turn 5, Inquisitor again. That was really, 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 really gross. And it basically, the thing is that the Inquisitor really warped the meta around it, and the troop decks were really, really hard pressed to beat Inquisitors.
Yeah, we've had a good set of ebb and flows when it comes to the metagame over the last 12 months. Like we had Eye for a while, and then Gorefeast for a while, and now Mount of Sapphire is starting to do its thing. Like it's been a pretty diverse metagame so far, and obviously some of these changes have had a huge impact on the meta. But I think all in all, for the opening set, it's been kind of cool to see how things have just gone and how they've played out over the course of a year.
Yeah. One also little thing about the changes. Well, the other kind that they nerfed in this patch was Eye. Before, the Eye of Creation was basically the same as right now, but it also put the resources into play.
Yeah.
So basically, you could just cast it for whatever,
It was far more forgiving.
and it didn't matter if you hit or not because you just ramped it, and if you whatever you drew, you could play next turn.
Yeah, like you play a puck out, turn 2 with a your ideal draw would be turn 1 Brave, turn 2 puck with a bunch of 5, 6, 9 cost cards in your hand, whatever. You then eye turn 3 with one eye open to get 7 resources off of just your hand at the least, and you eye for like 10 off of that, and then you ramp into 5 or 6 resources. You then can just cast anything in your hand after they extinction away what you got off your eye. So it was really too good. Like it's tough to say, but yeah, it was definitely too good. I liked eye before, I thought, but it was unhealthy.
The other thing is that the mirror magify
Ugh.
was disgusting.
Havoc
Whoever got the
must have
Guardian.
loved
It
playing
was.
those because it was all luck. It was just like, oh,
Yeah.
I happen to hit better than you. Good. Next game.
Yep.
Go to the next
No,
one now?
the thing is that there was only one card that mattered in the. I mean, there were two ways of winning the mirror match. One, you get insanely lucky with Jadim, and just go and kill him like turn 3 with Jadim or turn 4, before they get to get a Guardian Angel. But most of the matches where I get turn 3 or turn 4 Eternal Guardian, you get turn 3 or turn 4 Eternal Guardian. We
And
just
you just sit there.
and we just sit there casting Eye for 20 until we hit the 4 Argus that you have to play 4 Argus just for the mirror match to start voiding the damn Guardians of their opponent, so you will end killing them.
Yeah.
And after
Yep.
20 turns with the Argus voiding everything they play and all the Guardians, you will start attacking with your 60-60 Jadim.
And you've already gained 1 million life at that point because
Oh yeah, because
your Wrathwood's coming to play a few
Colossus,
times.
yeah.
Yeah. So it
Yeah,
was
they
it
were-
was filthy. It had some fun games. Definitely some fun games. I know. That
I
Skype
faced,
call
I
that
think
day
it
was really
six,
fun to
six or
watch.
6 rounds. I think I faced like 5 mirror match. I wanted to
See,
kill
and it
myself
was
that-
funny
that
because
day.
I played Battle Aura that tournament. So I was supposed to face a lot of Blood Diamond, and I faced not a 1 Blood Diamond, not a 1 Eye of Creation. I faced all like Mono Ruby decks. So like I metagamed so hard for what I expected to see, and it's all Mono Ruby. It's pretty awful. 'Cause
And
you
I
guys all
faced 3 eye decks in a row.
That 3 is not 5 though. I wanted to kill myself at the end of the day. I really just wanted to jump out of the window.
so
It was really
Brutal.
on
Yeah.
to the next nerf. One that was a little under the radar and may or may not have a huge impact would be Zombie Plague, going from a 2 cost to a 3 cost. The huge killer here is that before you'd be willing to slam a Zombie Plague turn 2 and start nerfing your opponent's deck, but now turn 3 you're playing Zombie Plague and then they go turn 4 Gore Feast and you go, that hurt a lot and I'm dead. So it took away a lot of the impact that the card could have had and probably should have had. That's also a second nerf to that card. That card originally revealed the top 3 cards of their deck and hit them.
No.
Oh, it's top card, right?
No, in the original one, what was the original one? No, the Zombie Play was changed, but the thing is that it had a Bible text more than it has now. It was even weirder. How it read the
If
old
that
Zombie
was
Play.
you reveal the top card of their deck, if it's a troop, it gets minus
No,
one, minus
no.
1. If it dies, you get a zombie. That's what it was. So you nerf their actual draws that turn.
Maybe I don't remember correctly.
I have to. We should have looked it up. I thought we remembered it. I was convinced I remembered it, but I can't. I'm for the life of me, I can't remember it now.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know,
that card-
it was really weird.
It
to
went
play
from
that.
being one of the potentially most impactful, one of the potentially most impactful legendaries in the set, to now being a card that maybe you'll play in your reserves. And it's kind of
Maybe.
upsetting because we all loved that card. I know I
Oh,
had
yeah.
a
Yeah,
troopless deck that
everyone
played
loved
it,
that card.
and I was loving it. I know Phoenix played a Blood Diamond, like tokeny strategy with that card, and we were all just in love with that card. And then it was just a 3, and we're like, oh, maybe I'll also play it, and it just became too slow and just didn't do enough.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember what he did now. I'm just checking it out.
But I remember he Googled it, by the way, so we're clear.
Yeah, yeah. so
That's metagaming right there.
at the start of your turn, add a play counter to this constant.
Oh,
Then
yes.
Reveal a random troop a random draw for each opposing champion's deck for each play counter on this constant.
So it's
Those
always a
troops get
troop.
-1/-1, and if troops dies, you get a zombie.
That was similar to what the original Curse of Oblivion was, then, right?
No,
The original Curse of Oblivion was make a second one, name a card.
no. You didn't have to name a card with Curse of Oblivion. You just basically just check their deck and click, I don't want this card.
Oh, you avoided a card that, yes, you made a second one every turn.
Yeah.
That was like a 4 cost, wasn't it, or something like that? I don't know what it was. I have to look into that one. That card was interesting as well, but not quite as...
Yeah, I love my zombie
Oh
deck,
yeah,
man.
the also.
That's
Oh yeah, the old Curse of Oblivion. Yeah.
That was an interesting one. I'll have to look into that one. Maybe we'll find it, see if we can post it somewhere. But we're running low on time, so let's just move on to the next one here. Next one again. Guess what? Another wild card. Chlorophilia was originally a 3 cost, double wild threshold, created 2 wild thresholds, and got you 2 permanent
Out
resources.
of the other, you didn't get them from your deck.
Yeah, it didn't thin your deck, which is actually kind of relevant. I mean, thinning your deck is nice. And it also didn't ramp you to your charge power, which is also very relevant, which is why I like the current Chlorophilia. But
Yeah, but it's not.
it's not as good. It's definitely not as good. The upside of this nerf is that you can now play Chlorophilia in dual shard decks, which was a little bit difficult before. Obviously, you played it in the no skill dot decks because you wanted to get to triple threshold pretty quickly. But the ability to now be able to thin your deck out a little bit, ramp to your charge power, which I've done a million times with Zoltog and Zared, and it's been awesome. So like I like the current Chlorophilia. I do see not a need, but like a want for the old Chlorophilia as well. I wouldn't mind having both. Just saying, as a wild mage, wouldn't mind having both.
I will just say, turn 1 Holding Brave, turn 2 Chlorophilia, turn 3 7/7 Fist. Never forget.
Yeah, it was pretty gross. They nerfed Fist like what the one before this, I think it was.
No, it was super early in the alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first the Fist was a 7/7 instead of a 6/6, which was relevant because
That was
going from 6 to 7 adds a whole turn to the clock. But yeah, the turn 3 Fist was something to be feared during the alpha.
Yeah.
Especially the first month, it was the best thing you will be doing. Turn 3 Fist in your opponent.
Phrasing on that one. Is there anything else you find interesting on this one, Indormi, you want to throw out there? I know Phoenix doesn't, have anything to offer.
There's one very important one that make this one super playable.
Throw it at me.
Before it was really bad. It's our friend, the Corrential running.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it's that important of one. It's nice. It definitely helped out in limited, but
I have
It's
played
playable.
It's playable now in constructed.
It is playable.
I
now.
did lose to one the
I
other
agree
day.
with that.
so there's that.
Get wrecked. Get ruined.
It's
No,
it's
but
it's
I mean,
really
that's
solid
it.
on constructed.
It's actually not that
It
bad.
really is.
Limited,
Especially
sorry.
with Gore Feast, it's Rage 2 on one
You're
cost.
getting
two.
too fancy. It's just no keep beat or limited.
Yeah, I mean it's fine.
You hit
It's
twice
playable.
with that thing, you're good to go. Pretty much.
You play turn 1 and it's really annoying to deal with unlimited.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I
mean
don't think there's anything else here except for maybe Zarlox, but he doesn't see any play, so that's not relevant really.
yeah, I like the
It's a great
increase
card,
of
though.
Zolox, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean overall there were a lot of nerfs of Wild during the alpha, like way too many, and that's probably one of the reasons that Wild decks don't see that much play. Yeah, because apart from the Fist got nerfed the very early in the alpha, the Nelabrina Scout also got nerfed very early in the alpha, before it was a 2/2, and having that with a spell shield and the combo with the Wild Aura was also a thing that happened a lot on the early alpha. Jadim got nerfed, Chlorophilia it's different now, but it really got nerfed because the effect was really powerful. What else? Eye of Creation got nerfed, Squirrel got nerfed, Eternal Guardian got nerfed, which is not exactly a wild card, but it's really a wild card.
Yeah.
Goes in the ramp decks. So most of the stuff on wild got nerfed one way to another. Also, the wild champions are not fantastic.
Yeah, they're like by far one of the worst. I mean,
Yeah.
the Diamond has probably the worst champion in Lady Elizabeth, but she at least has some potential to her.
Yeah. What else? I just lost my.
Essentially, what it is that like they were listening to a lot of the forum posts, and the forum posts being when we had like a quarter of the set were saying things that were too powerful, which at the time they were, but some things got changed that maybe shouldn't have, or maybe would have been fine now, or proven to be, you know, useful now as they originally went, as their original design was. Um, got changed early on because people were complaining about them being too powerful when we didn't have the entire set, and now that's why I thought we'd go back and look at this because looking back on them, I would like to have some of these cards. Like I'd love to have the Ruby Gem again. I know Indormi's gonna cry about it. I loved the Ruby Gem. Look, me and the Ruby Gem, we got hushed
Playing
up
Cabo
and
is
lost.
not something you want to have.
Me and Ruby Gem had a Vegas wedding, and it was beautiful. Elvis ordained it. I don't know what the hell it is. He married us. Whatever. Jokes lost. But what I'm saying is that it's nice to look back on these kind of things and think what could have been. It's not really nice to look back on it. It's kind of depressing actually. But
Well, the one that I miss the most is I.
yeah,
I think that in the current meta, I reverted the way it was would
would be
not
the
be
meta.
overbroken. I don't think it would be overbroken.
I don't
To be
know.
honest,
It, I,
I think it would be a fair bet. I mean, those versus Gorefeast, those versus Mono Sapphire. I mean, those are good. That sounds like good matches. I'd want to watch them.
yeah, I can get behind that. I mean, and Mono Sapphire actually has good counters to it with yesterday and
Yep.
counter magic and Grolks and stuff like that. So they actually have pretty decent counters to it. So maybe it wouldn't be so bad to have it back to where it was. But I do think it was probably too good where it was. Like
Yeah,
hitting the
it was.
resources.
At the current time, I agree.
I
I
mean,
agree. It
there's
needed
also one
changes.
thing that we are not talking about, but Puck is crazy. That card is really, 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 really crazy.
Buccaneer?
You can, no, Puck.
Puck.
Puck?
Oh, they said
Yeah.
Buck. I thought you
Oh
said-
yeah, Puck's great.
Puck
I
is
love Puck.
it's just really, really powerful card.
Yeah, it's
You
gonna.
can do really, really broken
It's only
stuff.
going to get better.
I think
Yeah.
It's only gonna
set
get better.
2 will see the resurgence in Wild, which I know I'm a fan of. And
It doesn't seem to be mono ramp though. It seems more aggro.
yeah, more aggro beat damage. I'm okay with that. But like
Yeah,
when you
your
look at these
Celeste,
things, like
yeah, I think
you kind of wonder why things like, you know, Squirrel Titan got the nerf bomb, but
Yeah.
things like, you know, Soul Mob will still get around counter magic, which is really one of the better answers to it. So like, there's some things like that. You're like, well, maybe they didn't. They went with what people were saying over what they were actually testing originally. Obviously, it was originally 1, so it still got around counter magic. But, um, like there's some things that may have been missed to nerf, and some things that I'd like to see get nerfed before we go to open beta potentially. But that's not gonna happen.
Doesn't
Hashtag where's my chalice? Anyone?
No, but the thing is that there's also the thing is we see a downtrend of nerfs during of Wild, but at the same time we see a trend of buffs on Diamond that happened during the Alpha 2. I mean, the only card that really got nerfed from Diamond was the Defender. And it really got nerfed; it just got changed. But one thing that was really that happened that it was either be subtle and we didn't realize it the first time is when they changed Repel.
Mm.
Before Repel was forecasted, destroy attacking, destroy target attacking or defending troop, which was basically not really constructed playable
Yeah,
for
not at all.
constitutes.
No, that's a limited removal spell.
And when they changed to 2, we just had so many good removal spells because in addition to that, we also had a blood card called Persecute that was 2 cost,
baby,
minus
man.
3, -3 to target troop until the end of the turn. It's basically kill anything with 3 defense or less. And having Repel, Persecute, Mortar, because Mortar before didn't even have the artifact clause. It was destroy target troop. And
Remember those days?
Extinction.
yeah, Extinction and Inquisitor. We didn't have
And
Destroy Target
Judgment?
at that point. Yeah, but it's so let's play. but I Judgment, I just so many people out. Oh,
Trial of Faith too.
And
no,
yeah,
I didn't try to play
Speaking
That's what
of
got me started in
relevant
Trial of
things,
But yeah, though there was so much removal at that point that they decided to take out Persecute because it was just too much, and they changed Mortars for non-artifacts, and that also spiraled into the nerf to Eternal Guardian because on the patch of the eye there weren't really good answers to Eternal Guardian. That was why the mirror match of I was so disgusting because the creature the thing that you had to kill it of removal, it was a squirrel, and the squirrel didn't kill
Squirrel didn't
the
kill the time, yeah. It was a
yeah
4/5, so.
yeah, and the guardian was a 5/5. So the change to murder that made it not being able to deal with the guardian really push the guardian's power so much because it has way less answer in the set. It's what happened with Marvel. Marvel is really good. I didn't thought it was going to. It was a spoiler before it was on the alpha. I didn't. I thought that explosive what it was going to be something like a steadfast and be steadfast and be steadfast and a lifelink or something like that. I didn't think that explosive was going to make it to the Marvel, but it
Probably
did,
shouldn't have, to
whatever.
be fair.
Yeah, and the point is, I mean, Marvel is really good, but the main issue with Marvel is that there are not good answers in the set or great answers in the set. So that's the problem. I know that the set is cannot be infinite, but we have seen on set 2 that there has been a lot of constant removal feature on the set because they realizes that they did not have enough constant removal, especially one that is as resilient and Marvel that when it hits that 9 counters, it's really hard to deal. And yeah, it gets under counter magic. If you get something that is not instant pit, it can get transforming response to cavalry. There are just really not great answers to it. So it really warps the meta around it. Same as happened with Guardian and I. Think that was the main issue because the main problem with I is that you just slam a Guardian, and there were so many few answers in the set to deal with the Guardian that you just could take all the time in the world to just find another eye and just or a Radwood or whatever and kill them
Yeah.
because you basically lock them out of the game with a Guardian because they were just trying through their 4 extinctions and not much more because also it had 5 defense. They had to be triple porn or Rage Fire and Rage Fire. It was really hard to deal with it.
But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy our look back, and if you have any cards you thought, were kind of impactful nerfs or things that you'd be interested to see how they'd fare in the current meta game, throw it in the comments below in the YouTube or in the comments at the website or at iTunes, wherever you feel like commenting. If you don't feel like commenting at all, that's fine too. Whatever. I'm not gonna hold it against you. I may hold it against you. Who knows? So that's gonna do it for us
What are
today,
you
guys.
hold against them?
Have a good night, a pleasant tomorrow, and thanks for tuning in, and thanks even more so for being awesome, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.